Ep.23 of season 1. So we're going to close it with you guys and just like zoom in on our team, which is awesome. But we'll go through, like I've had a lot of messages and comms from a lot of our members. I won't name anyone who pulled questions, but I've kind of used that as inspiration to talk to you fellas and get to know you, because you guys sit at desks and then we kind of get all these awesome programs and who's Larissa and Yann? So here is Larissa and Yann. But let's start with the most public one, which was on the Facebook page. Mm-hmm. How did you start at Parafed Auckland? Go Yann, since you've been here much longer.
I started the 1st of February 2019, and I started as communication officer for Tom at the time. And I started part-time, so I was just doing 20 hours, communication, marketing. And after 3 months, there was a need for business development and finding sponsors and finding new opportunities and new relationships. So I went on full-time, still for Tom. And in October, Tom came to me and he resigned for the position of CEO. And he put my name forward to the board to be the next CEO. And after 6 months trial from the board, and with the first COVID, the board put me on the full-time position. And here I am a year later.
Boom. And Larissa?
I have the classic COVID story. So I'm a fresh face around here. I've been here, 6 weeks now? So I was due to move to London this year and travel Europe for 6 months, do the big OE, big travel trip that you do. And then that all went down the drain because of COVID. So I started reapplying for jobs up in Auckland. So I'm originally from Tauranga. And this opportunity came up. And I've always loved working for not-for-profits, loved working within the sports sector as well. So it was just sort of too good to be true, really. Yeah.
Was there anything significant that drew you guys to this team and this community when you were first kind of stepping into it?
I'm also a coach on the side, and I've always coached people with disability. And so straight away when I came to New Zealand about 3 years ago now, it was a great opportunity to get into coaching a little bit more and understanding what's the disabled sector here in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. And that's what drew me to Parafed and Paralympics.
And so now as well, you coach the Wheel Blacks too.
Yes.
How did that advance your coaching, or was it quite familiar and similar to what you've done in the past?
Completely different, because you coach a team instead of individuals. You still coach individuals, but they are everywhere in New Zealand, so it's quite interesting to have that individualism, but for 15 players all around New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's easier for the Auckland boys because I'm here twice a week to their training, but it's very interesting to get to know people and get to create those relationships all around New Zealand.
Yeah, that's really cool. What is it like? I mean, with only 6 weeks is going to be kind of hard to say, but what is the most significant moment, memory, experience that you guys have had since being within the Parafed Auckland team?
I'm still currently just meeting everyone for the first time. So I think my most significant moment is definitely still to come, especially heading into term 4, all our programs starting up. So I'm really looking forward to actually meeting all of our members face to face and getting to know everyone properly heading into the next term. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of awesome experiences and memories to come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did the Huddle Games in 2019, and that was such a highlight. Having 50 kids in our team, all representing Parafed Auckland, it was just crazy. Yeah, looking forward to it in April 2021.
I can't believe I missed it as well. Like I snuck in just between the two. We'll kind of phase out of the more formal questions, but I still think it's like really interesting for everyone to hear and see and things. But if we had a magic wand and endless supply of every resource in the world, what would be the number one thing you guys would right now in terms of supporting Parafed Auckland and getting things places where you want to be?
Oh, that's a hard one.
I'll start.
You start with one. That's a hard one for me.
from the moment when I started to think about the Hui Ketua movement, it was during the first lockdown, and I had this discussion with Liam from Auckland Football, and then Kieran, and it's, when you can see this thing and the potential that it has, and it will seem like Steve Jobs, but it's a revolution.
Yeah.
I think it will revolutionize the whole disabled sector in New Zealand and potentially broader than that.
Yeah.
And I can see that, and I want to put all the resources that we have, and we all agree that project is huge, and it's like we have to wait for certain deadlines and certain resource and funding, but it's quite frustrating and exciting at the same time.
So for those that don't know, because Hui Ketua movement's kind of been under the radar for a little
tuned.
bit. Yeah. Do you want to give a brief overview of what it kind of looks like?
The Hui Ketua movement will be the revolution of and the link between the able-bodied world and the disabled body world. And for too long, people with disability miss out on Saturday footy because one of the family member is disabled and they have to rush home, or people wanting to do football but because they are in a wheelchair they can't do it. And we want to make it happen, and we want to create an inclusive society, and that goes through those sports codes that are mostly able-bodied, but we want to make it happen for disabled.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the Hui Ketua.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so cool, and it's so cool to see movement in it, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of cheesy, but to get some momentum and things like that. What about your magic wand wish?
Just being able to provide all those opportunities without any sort of, what's the word now?
Barriers?
Yeah, with any sort of barriers. So whether that be funding, just being able to, magically just, ta-da!
Yeah.
Done. We can do this. We don't have to worry about funding applications and everything else. It's being able to get as many people involved as we possibly can, and providing them with all those awesome opportunities.
Do you guys... Which
is what we will do with the Hui Ketua movement, which is awesome. It's just having to wait and see and secure funding rather than just being able to go ahead and do it.
Okay, into the fun ones, the really tough questions. What's your favourite food?
Cuisine or food?
Like meal, sit down meal. What's your go-to?
I got a few.
I am the biggest foodie, so for me having to choose one meal is next to impossible. I could live off Italian food, I think.
Yeah.
Pasta, carbs, that's my go-to. Without, carbs, just carbs.
I have to say cheese.
Oh, yes, cheese.
A meal of cheese?
No, just cheese plated.
Fondue, those French.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Just cold cheese platter, crackers. Oh, yeah, no, that's my Friday night dinner.
It's like the Frenchest thing you could have said.
Yeah. and sugary or sweet, lemon meringue pie.
Ooh.
No.
Larissa's face.
Love a good chocolate fondant, the little, you cut it open, it all oozes out.
Oh.
Yeah, those are good.
So are you guys summer or winter?
Summer. Even though I was going to move to London.
Like the gloomiest city.
The gloomiest, darkest, rainiest city.
Winter in Auckland is really...
It's very mild.
Really, yeah.
It's not a winter.
Winter in the South Island was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But summer.
It's the default.
Yeah.
What sports did you play at high school? Just a little bit of a throwback.
I played American football for 10 years.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
I played in Portugal, France.
I was just a classic netballer. Netball, volleyball, did athletics, cross country, just a bit of everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah, keep up. Get all those sports then. I think there was... What were we setting on for the time?
2 minutes.
That's It's only like 14 minutes of content. You guys are the fastest episode ever. Because I've got the like
easy.
stock standard, the
Bring on the questions.
advice.
Yeah, come on, bring on the
I know, I thought I
questions.
wrote heaps
I
that
like
I'd have to
fun
like,
questions.
like cut them off. Okay, we'll go. Fun questions.
Fun questions. Everyone
What
wants
do
to
you
know.
want to know?
Everyone wants to know the fun
Yeah.
questions.
This is like the ones I do for my question of the day. Okay, what do you guys like? It can be like food, activities, blah, 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 blah,
Mhm.
whatever, that majority of other people don't like.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, we're
Next
done.
question.
We're out of this.
Okay, if you guys had...
I can tell you a food that lots of people like that I don't like.
Okay.
Creamed corn.
I do
Disgusting.
like cream corn.
What is that?
It's like corn in a can, but it's kind of
It's
creamy.
the brine and
Okay.
it's like you literally just like a Watties can of creamed corn.
You should have
People
it
make
So
with
it's
like
the same
butter.
as cream rice?
No,
No, it's not.
different.
It's
People make
different.
like cheese toasties out of it.
Okay.
Or
like
like
with cheese.
Or no, you make fritters with it. Like
Whoa.
Don't make fritters
Corn
with it,
fritters
just don't
with
even buy it.
And Larissa's really emotional about
Yeah.
cream corn.
Just getting angry.
Sensitive topic.
Okay, what's one of your guys like compulsive things that you like are so pedantic about?
I like my routine, like my bedtime routine
Very
is
much a
pretty.
routine person.
Yeah, yeah,
Very much so.
Same
Sleep by a
thing
certain time,
yeah.
get up at a certain time, meal prep on a Sunday, plan my meals out for the week. I like to be organised.
Very
It's like,
structured.
very structured. My day to day is very structured.
What happens if your structure goes out the window?
I'm pretty chill.
Yeah, I can't say I like stress about
Yeah,
it, but
no.
I will get tired if I don't get my sleep.
Okay, who would win out of you two?
Oh, here we
We
go.
went boxing the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah, who would win in a boxing match?
Well, that's a bit like, obviously it's going to be Yann.
Did you watch John's episode? He says you always have to go in with confidence. He said,
Yeah.
I would win. You can,
No, I'm still not
you've already lost.
I've already lost. I'm definitely not confident going against Yann in a boxing match, that's for sure.
Okay, who would win in a Jenga competition?
Is that the
The standard.
this?
Well, obviously not you now. You don't know
Oh,
what
no, I
the
think it'd be
I would
me.
win.
Nah.
I'm pretty like,
Let's see your hand. Okay, I'm a bit shaky there.
I would win.
Okay, who would win in a 100 meters wheelchair race?
Again, I have to go with
I
Yann.
would
Yeah, I'm not confident in that one.
What are you confident in?
He's just got bigger arms.
But he's
Push it
heavier.
past.
He's got so much
That's
more
true.
mass to push.
More lag, yeah.
Have you been in the wheelchair yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
the thing.
the basketball.
Oh yeah.
the-
the basketball. Yeah.
Okay,
Boxing
and then last competition then. Who
You
would
have to come to a rugby training.
yeah, I do.
Okay, who would win in a one-on-one goal ball?
Oh.
He's got better ears.
Yeah, I think I would win.
So overly confident. It's ridiculous.
Have you seen Go Ball? Like
Yeah.
all the.
Yeah.
We played it
Yeah,
at Hobsonville.
we did play it.
Oh, you played Go Ball?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Nah, I'm gonna go with me just because I need to go.
You
need
need
to
to
bet
get
myself.
something.
I need to win something.
Okay.
She was quite competitive at the boxing.
Oh,
thing.
I'm
like,
very
I
competitive.
could see those small looks and.
Yeah, I'm very competitive.
She'd be a smart boxer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, who would win, Olivia or Larissa at boxing?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I'm gonna go back to the office and be like, Olivia.
Yeah,
you,
I do love a good boxing
you got
session.
called out
Yeah.
on the episode.
It's not fair, she's not here to
was
defend
onto it,
herself.
yeah. She was really onto it.
Okay, and then like also most staple question that's existed in this entire season of
What's staple?
podcasts, like
Like key.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
most common. It's been
consistent,
consistent.
Okay.
like your
Yeah.
routine.
Yeah.
It's as staple as your
Staple in
evening
your
routine.
diet. Like eggs are staple in your diet.
Yeah,
It's just an
it is.
example.
Just
But
worries
yeah,
us.
it is.
Yeah, I think so. Say protein.
Protein. But if you guys were gonna flash back to 5 years ago, what would you tell yourself? And it could be personal, it could be professional, it could be just general advice to somebody in a similar situation. But 5 years back, what would you tell a younger self?
I would say you're doing great.
It's high five,
Yeah.
like fist bump, and the
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
at the time I was probably not aware of all the good thing that I'm doing, and I would never expect me to be here now, and I'm so happy about where I am now that I would not change anything. Maybe just like hey, just keep going, you're doing good.
Yeah. I'd say just don't doubt yourself. Just like back yourself and back your decisions that you make.
I'm so
Whether it's
glad.
a career choice or a degree choice. I think 5 years ago I must have been deciding on what I wanted to study, and I changed my mind a week before I was due to start uni and moved from Wellington to Auckland instead of so there you go, just don't doubt yourself.
The staple answer you had?
No, they've all been so diverse. Some people are like clueless. They're like, "Ooh, I can't even think back to yesterday, let alone." But like, they're so diverse. I think it's definitely dependent on. I mean, everyone else's experience and journeys and their own lessons that have got them there. Something that's like light bulbed at some point in their life, and they're like, "I should have listened about that earlier and things." But I'll swing in now just because this is the last episode.
Okay, question for you.
Okay, oh god.
Okay, here we go.
What's the coolest thing you've learned during those podcast episodes?
Oh, don't say so much. If you guys listen back, like if you watch just watch a random episode, and I think every question I'm like, so what did, like every single time. But I've learned that, like, I think first episode to like the teens is like polar opposite, and I like had so much fun. But it's been a really cool opportunity because of the role that I sit within the team. I'm just kind of like a keyboard that just does things, and no one sees me unless they turn up to North Strength and Conditioning on a Friday at 4:15 at Massey. But
a little plug in there.
But it's been really cool to suddenly like organize and manage all these names and then meet them, and like I think I've said this, like everyone that's been on the podcast, this is what I've said, is like this will be cool conversation because although our community is getting to know you, I'm getting to know you, so actually it's like really genuine and really relaxed. But no, I think the biggest one is like don't stutter, just speak your mind. But same thing, like just be confident with it. I think initially, like when I first took the first few episodes, I was like researching and practicing, and like I'd be like, "Hey, Hamish, who's my partner and I live with him," I was like, "Can I interview you for a moment?" And I was like getting really wound up about it, and then realized that actually it came across better when I was just like, "Hey, let's buddy, old pal, let's chat."
Just go with the flow.
But yeah, so guys, that is our 23rd and final for the seasons. We're going to close it there, take a bit of a pause, and then you'll hopefully see season 2 coming out in the future at some point. But you've got lots of things to get involved with our team, so you can come see these guys at the experience day, at the awards night, and then at next year's Halberg as well as all the awesome programs that we have every single week. But before you run away, do subscribe and do make sure you've saved us on Spotify or the iTunes, so that when season 2 does come back, you get a little notification to say we're back in action and on. So thank you for listening, for being an awesome audience. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day